stop. Will you stop jumping up and down, Quentin? You make them worse. You're as welcome as the flowers in May, and I'm sure there'll be a few as soon as the monsoon is over. What happened to the greenhouse effect? Has the hole in the ozone layer healed up? Still, there's sunshine on the box. Every Sunday at 7:45, it's endless summer. Has ever a series given more pleasure to more people? Food, drink, and frolic. A never, never land of pleasures of the flesh. With Pop and Ma Larkin. The inimitable creations of H.E. Bates in The Darling Buds of May. But did anybody ever live like them? Had the Larkins any basis in reality? Well, let's ask the author's wife, Madge Bates, and their son, Richard. Welcome. Now, I know, Richard, I know you're involved in this series, but I'll ask Madge first of all. Have you been watching it?
Yes, of course.
Yes, and I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's
very good? Oh, yes. I'm one of the millions, you see.
Yeah. Would H.E., I know he didn't like to be called Herbert, did he?
No.
Would H.E. Bates himself have liked it, do you think?
Yes, I think he would, because there is nothing to object, really, is there? Because, I mean, it's how he wrote it.
Yeah. Is that the way you envisaged Pop and Ma Larkin to be in the family and all the rest of it?
Yeah, we're nearly Pop and Ma Larkin family, actually.
So why do you think it's been so successful?
I think we were ready for something to take our minds off serious things. And it is how everybody, I think, would love to live, really, and live in the country, do the things that Pop does and Ma does every day.
I think you're absolutely right. It's that extraordinary. There's an extraordinary hedonism about the whole thing. A joie de vivre. Why has it taken so long, speaking to you as his son, why has it taken so long for this minor classic to get onto the screen?
Well, when H.E. wrote the first book in 1957, he sold the film rights to MGM, who did in fact produce a film called The Mating Game. With the film rights, they took the television rights. And to cut a long story short, we've been struggling for 30 years to recover those rights, and it's taken us 30 years to do it.
And now you've just sold it to the States.
We hope we sold it back to the States, yes.
And tell me, am I right in thinking, it may just be a quirk of my imagination, but did I not hear The Darling Buds of May either on radio or see a black and white version of it on the television?
Not a black and white version, no, but certainly it's been adapted for radio, yes.
Yes, wonderful. And you were saying that the Bates family, in its own way, was not that far removed from the Larkins.
No, we had 4 children, and we had good times. We lived, like the Larkins, mostly out of doors. I mean, as soon as the summer came, we would have chairs and tables, and we always went picnicking. We would take kettle and boil the kettle in the woods.
And what about all that food? Did you eat that much?
Yes, we did, I can tell you.
I was just going to say no.
Well, we did. She's not the size of Ma Larkin, but I can promise you that all Ma Larkin's cookery is based on Madge's output, which was very considerable.
Yes, all those geese cooking all that.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and the mixed gorillas and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think you would have liked our household on Sundays.
Yes, I'm sure.
We had really good Sunday lunches.
What about the wine? Did H.E. like his bottle of wine as well?
He loved his bottles of wine. Yes.
But he never drank iced port, I have to say. That was an invention of his. He thought that was outrageous.
Did he mix cocktails in the same way that Pop mixes the cocktails?
No, not quite to that extent, no.
But did you knew him as Pop? He was called Pop, was he, in the family?
Yes,
yes, after he wrote the books in 57, I mean, we'd always, called him Dad or Daddy or whatever when we were tiny, but we were not allowed, of course, to call him H.E. when we were children. But once Pop Larkin was established, and he became known as Pop. And I think actually he began to live rather more and more like Pop too as he got a little older.
He became like the creation.
Yes, indeed.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
You lived in Kent yourselves. Did you go hop picking and all this kind of thing?
No.
No. I used to go strawberry picking.
Yes.
Yeah. And during the war we used to go plum picking and apple picking and so on and so forth. But like Charlie, I went strawberry picking with all those girls in the fields.
I think
which was
you're Charlie,
quite fun.
really.
I think I probably am.
You think that he wrote Richard as Charlie?
Strawberry picking.
Strawberry picking, anyway.
Yeah. You in fact converted a barn, didn't you?
Yes, 60 years ago, we converted a granary into a house, and people thought we were quite mad. But of course, people think it's the maddest thing now because I live in the cowshed. Because the granary was part of farm buildings, and then the pigsty, the cowshed became vacant, and I took it over. And so that is where I live now, and I am very comfortable too in the cowshed.
H.E. began, as you say, to take over the character of Pop. Did you become more like Ma, or were you like her to begin with?
Well, I don't know that I was never quite so plump.
No, I wasn't for a moment suggesting that. No.
But I think we were a happy family, rather like
Yes,
the Larkins are. And we always powered our children into a car and went abroad every year.
Did you go to France as...
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly
We
like that.
stayed in the hotel with the wind blowing in with the sun.
Yes, 7 of us went off one summer, I particularly remember. All of us powered into a great big old Buick it was in those days. We never owned a Rolls Royce, but nevertheless I think the Buick was the inspiration for Pop's Rolls Royce, and we all went off to France.
What about casting actors for it? You must have found that very difficult.
Well, yes, I think we were extremely fortunate. I mean, happily we knew that we were going to be able to have David Jason very early on. We approached David with the books, and he read them and loved the character and agreed to do it. And then we had a much more difficult task, actually, of casting Ma, because it isn't fashionable, as the ladies in our audience will tell us, to be of any sort of size. But we were very fortunate to find Pam Ferris, who was looking a little less slim than she is now, because the moment she heard that she'd got the part, she rushed out and started feeding herself with donuts and spaghettis and
It's a
everything
wonderful
else that she could
creation,
get.
though. It's a wonderful
Yes.
creation by
Yes.
Pam Ferris. I mean, it's a tribute to her that...
Yes, indeed.
That, you know, she shares the screen equally with David
Yes.
Jason. You don't
She
feel
does.
it's just
She does
David.
indeed.
And then we
yes,
were very
yes.
fortunate, of course, you already met Catherine.
Yes.
We were very fortunate to find Catherine. And,
There's a small part, you played a part in it, didn't you?
Well, Richard always said I was on the cutting room floor, actually. If you blinked, you didn't see me. You didn't see me, did you?
I did. You were at the wedding.
With that fox fur
That
around?
was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. You didn't see me, did you? I was hoping everybody would blink, you see.
What about all those women that eye Pop up? He has a great eye for the ladies, and the ladies have an eye for him. Was that true of H.E. as well?
Oh, absolutely. He loved the ladies. Yes, he did indeed, yes.
Do you still miss him?
Of course. I talk to him every day, and I did this morning. I told him he's got a lot to be
would be responsible for here
Yes.
today, bringing us here.
bringing me here, yes. But it's been a pleasure anyway.
It's been
I
lovely
mean,
to have you here.
the whole series has given us so much pleasure.
Are there more Darling Buds to see?
Well, we have one more this Sunday, and that is the completion of the French holiday, and that's the last we shall see this year. But we do start shooting on the following Monday, so it's good timing for a further 6 episodes. So we'll be
I
back.
hope we get the summer.
Yes, we
You
hope
got
so
the
too.
last
Thank
time.
you.
So.
Everything seemed to be bathed in sunlight,
Yes.
doesn't it, in this
It
series?
did.
was.
They had 6 weeks of it, you see, which was really very lucky. I mean,
18 weeks, excuse me, 18 weeks of solid sunshine we had last year.
well, they had 6 weeks in Kent, didn't they?
No more, yes.
You stand up for yourself,
No,
Mark.
that's right. She only came out on the good day.
I hear there's a new Darling Bud of May
Yes.
that's just been added to the family.
Yes, it's Richard's granddaughter.
Granddaughter, my first granddaughter,
Excellent.
whom we've called Daisy May, which I think is entirely appropriate.
Yes, of course, because there's Primrose and
Yes.
all those nice
In
names.
fact, Ma's second name is Daisy. Ma's maiden name is Florence Daisy Parker.
That is
So
entirely
she's
appropriate.
named after Ma and born in May, so we're very happy about
But
that.
actually, it is my 8th great-grandchild.
Great-grandchild.
Yes. That takes some beating.
It certainly does. We're delighted you've taken the time and trouble to join us.
Been a pleasure.
And I'm sure the series, as you say, must bring marvellous memories of your husband and the family and everything back
Yes.
to you. So the whole thing has been, would you say, has been perfect?
Perfect is the word. And
so.
I think everybody's using it too. I think a lot of people can find something perfect in their lives.
Thank you for joining us, Madge.